What if one character could fit into every single one of your teams with zero thought needed and instantly make all of them better? In DNA, that character exists and her name is Fina. Until now, Outsider wouldn't let his sick sister leave the house, but even he can't hold her back anymore. As it turns out, Fina is both the coughing baby and the hydrogen bomb, which is probably why Outsider insisted on keeping her locked up. Thanks to Duet Night Abyss for sponsoring this video. So what exactly makes Fina such a threat, and how can you obtain her? Fina deals light element damage, called Lumino in Duet Night Abyss, and at first glance, this just seems wrong. After all, the endgame content she debuts in, called Immersive Theater, resists Lumino attacks, making her seemingly useless in the very content she's supposed to help you with. However, things are not what they seem, as that is exactly what makes her so unique. Fina is the ultimate support who thrives on any team, even off-element ones. You better get used to this sad baby's face because you'll be seeing it a lot. Fina's ultimate, Boisterous Tea Party, can buff one of 4 elements depending on which fairy tale beast she's let loose. Bird for Hydro, Dog for Pyro, Unicorn for Electro, or Butterfly for Anemo. She can change which element she's buffing by tapping the ultimate button again. And the best part? The AI is smart enough to swap to whatever element matches your deployed character. Just standing in the circle will grant Fina and her allies bonus elemental damage of her choosing and will result in you seeing a lot of numbers on screen. A press for her regular E-skill will summon Boisterous Tea Party to her location in addition to granting her more stacks of Tailweaver Quill, so you don't need to worry about running too far away from it. It does drain her sanity constantly, but you can choose to end it early by long pressing the ult button. This alone makes some of the strongest characters in DNA, like Lin and Psyche, even stronger. Or she can give a less meta character a well-deserved boost. Please buff Hellfire and Sybil DNA. Fina just got here and her back is breaking from carrying them. Fina's huge buff is already amazing on its own, but we're just getting started with what she can do. Not only can Fina buff 4 different elements with her ultimate, she has a passive called To Be Continued that increases her whole team's damage based on the number of Tailweaver Quill stacks she generates, which she'll gain naturally through 2 methods. Whenever she uses her E-skill, and every second her Boisterous Tea Party ultimate is placed on the field. This is a damage buff that makes all your characters stronger regardless of what element they are. And that's not even the end of it. Fina also has an unlockable passive that works like this. When she's deployed as an AI companion, members of her team with the sword or assault rifle proficiency gain a 10% increase to weapon damage, even if they're using the wrong weapon. That's big. Or it would be if weapons dealt any damage. But we need to think bigger, because this weapon buff also applies to consonance weapons. Consonance weapons are a unique weapon that some characters pull out during certain attacks, but unlike regular weapons that you equip, they're extremely strong. And because consonance weapons deal weapon damage, they'll receive the 10% increased weapon damage buff from Fina. At least as long as the stats page for that character says either sword or assault rifle here. Case in point, Psyche is an Anemo character who has proficiency with assault rifles and also happens to have a powerful consonance weapon. With the help of Fina, Psyche gets an overall damage buff, an elemental buff, and a buff to her weapon damage, which includes the assault rifle butterflies. Yes, the butterflies are an assault rifle. Berenica, meanwhile, is an Umbro character. While Berenica doesn't get any elemental bonus from Fina's ultimate, she still receives the rest of Fina's buffs. This includes Fina's weapon damage bonus, thanks to being proficient with swords, which powers up Berenica's consonance weapons even further. But remember, Fina is a bomb, and that truly becomes apparent when you see her introns, aka duplicates, which are completely free to earn in this game. You know what, forget most of them. Her Intron 1 is the most powerful Intron 1 in the entire game. It provides up to 18% pen stat, resulting in about 18% extra damage dealt. Just look at this test where I had Lin shoot Blue Current Pulse and then do her ultimate with and without Fina's I1. The difference is staggering. You should absolutely rush to get Fina's first Intron as soon as possible. Fina's I2 lets her gain more Tailweaver quill stacks more quickly, resulting in higher team DPS. After that, it's a lot of personal damage increases for Fina. Big fans will want to aim for her I6 eventually because it enables Fina herself to start dishing out some notable damage, which is great if you want to play as her. With all this in mind, the fact that Immersive Theater isn't Lumino makes total sense. The game wants you to use Fina as an AI companion in teams that will show off her power to its fullest, and characters like Psyche and Berenica act as a great tutorial for that. Okay, enough about how good Fina is, let's talk about how to get Fina. Like every DNA character, she can be obtained completely free, permanently. But if you want her as soon as possible, you'll have to play the game mode she debuts in, Immersive Theater. If you're watching this in the future, I'll also cover how you can earn her after her debut. While it has similarities to Tower of Adversity from Wuthering Waves, the rewards are so much greater. Level up materials, crafting resources, and of course, new characters. Specifically, the most recently launched character, which in this case is Fina. Same goes for the newest character's signature weapon. You can grab that from Immersive Theater too. But wait, if Fina can be earned from Immersive Theater, but also should be used in Immersive Theater, isn't that a paradox? Does the game really expect you to use Fina to get Fina? Well, no, the devs aren't monsters. Let me explain how Immersive Theater works. If you've never touched Immersive Theater before, you'll have to battle through classic repertoire with your strongest 2 teams of characters. During the first several stages of each act, you'll fight through waves of enemies under a time limit, and the final stage will have you facing off against a boss. The game will show you which boss you'll be up against ahead of time so you can plan your team accordingly. The element doesn't matter here, but you don't get any of the latest characters' secret letters either. Fortunately, these stages are pretty easy, and that's because they're only intended for new players. Once you complete it once, you never have to do classic repertoire again. Next, tackle featured repertoire, which strongly encourages a specific set of elements. You'll learn secret letters here, which will hopefully be enough to get the new character by the time you're finished all of featured repertoire. The cool thing about this mode is you can actually select which of the 2 teams you want to take first, so I recommend always starting with your weaker team so you don't waste more time than you need to. Finally, those seeking a challenge can take on Immortal Theater, which rewards further secret letters for the new character up to Act 12, but only requires a single team. Bring the best of the best you have to this. While classic repertoire doesn't require any elemental advantage and you can use whoever you like most, featured and immortal repertoire will be a lot more difficult if you don't use the elements they want. No, really. If you use the wrong element, you'll only do 50% damage, while the right element will do 400% more damage to enemies. That's why, in Fina's update, you're going to want an Anemo team and an Umbro team. For Anemo, Psyche works wonders when paired with healers like Truffle and Daphne, since her gimmick is that she needs to maintain her HP in order to keep dealing damage. If you didn't earn Psyche from the last theater, you can grab her from Nocturnal Echoes, specifically the Sybil level 50 fight. If you don't have Psyche, Truffle herself can be surprisingly strong as a main damage dealer when she's got a 700% power boost over non-Anemo characters. Just jump on that pig and watch enemies go down like bowling pins. If you need to deal with Eclosioner's flight mode, you can even just sort of jump into her and laugh as she is completely helpless against the might of a big pig. Outsider is also an option if you like using him. On the other hand, your options for Umbro damage dealers are the likes of Berenica, Fantasio, and Lady Nifel. Despite being a Lumino character, Lady Nifel also deals some Umbro damage. She's also just really strong, even without getting any introns. Most players probably won't have Fantasio just yet, as he can only be obtained after reaching trial rank 60, or with your wallet. But Berenica is given to you right at the start of the game, and she should hold up here just fine. Spend a while in the level 65 Noctoider stages to get some decent purple demon wedges, grab some purple consonance weapon wedges for characters like Psyche from the Mystic Maze shop, and you'll be good to go. And when in doubt, Wainwraith and Blade Amberglow are nice weapons to slap on the characters you're playing. You'll already have them just by completing the main story. Chances are, by the time you get to the real challenge, Immortal Repertoire, you'll already have enough secret letters to obtain Fina by doing covert commissions. I recommend waiting until Dismantle is up, by the way. You can do it in about 30 seconds or less, especially if you equip a polearm like Wayne Wraith with the Demon Wedge's Piercing Ascent, Swift Momentum, and Celerity. And you'll really need extra power because Immortal Theater is tough. But it's not all bad. Only one team is required here instead of two, which means this is the perfect time for Fina to shine. But it goes beyond just endgame content. Fina will have a spot on every team. Psyche, Lisbel, Nifel, you name it. Every character is playing tug of war and Fina is the rope. If there's a character you love using, chances are you'll love them even more if you pair them with Fina because she will blow up their damage. But I know what you're thinking. What if you're late to the party and Fina is no longer in the immersive theater? Are you out of luck? Fortunately, no. You can still get her anytime. In fact, you'll be able to get her even more easily than when she first debuted. Like Psyche before her, Fina will spend about 30 days in immersive theater, then about 6 months as a weekly boss reward, and then finally, she'll go to the shop where she can be obtained with secret letter clues, which you can grind for free infinitely. If the prospect of all these free characters has piqued your interest, download DNA with the link in my description to help out the channel. There's only one place gacha creeps into DNA, and that's with its cosmetic banners. Watch this video to learn how to avoid wasting hourglasses and money on them.